Back in 2017, a series of strange photographs were shared online. They showed what looked like large structures on the moon's surface. Those who went on to further investigate the claims said that 6 towers had been discovered on the moon, and after these photographs were shared online, people started to give their opinions on what they thought they were. The images were taken from Google Moon, which is collected by NASA satellites orbiting the moon, and taking images of the lunar surface appear to show what people say are large-looking structures. One commenter said they'd been placed there and that they definitely weren't natural. Users then started to do their own research, and it turned out that more of these large structures were found. One person used a measuring tool and said the structures measured in at 3.7 kilometers, or 2.2 miles in height. So whatever these things are, they're not small. This then caused some to question whether NASA had picked up on these before, with one person saying the following: "These structures are over 2 miles in height. I fail to believe that NASA or other space agencies haven't picked up on them yet. Why have they kept quiet about these giant things coming out of the moon's surface? They literally look like towers." End quote. However, some spoke out about these discoveries and said that Google Moon isn't the most reliable tool. Others though carried on from this and said that similar looking structures have been found on the moon's surface. Believers though have said that saying these structures are glitches is just lazy, and is used as a way to avoid answering and researching further what these things are. With another person saying the following: "I'm starting to see a theme here when it comes to these anomalies. Whenever one is found, you never hear the space agency reply with open arms. They immediately debunk it, and I find that interesting because according to them they've only seen these discoveries when people have shown them it. So how can you debunk something that you've only just seen? It seems like that happens with everything that's slightly mysterious these days. Instead of being interested and wanting to investigate further, all these agencies say is that it's a glitch, or a camera anomaly. At this point it feels pointless to even show them this stuff because you know what answer they'll give." End quote. Another thing that people are talking about again is that of the strange object that was seen flying through our solar system. This object went by the name of Oumuamua. Avi Loeb, who is the chair of Harvard's Department of Astronomy, claims that he thinks he found proof of extraterrestrials, and this comes in the form of some garbage. He has an upcoming book titled Extraterrestrial: The First Sign of Intelligent Life Beyond Earth, and in it he details that a mysterious object that made its way into our solar system may be proof of extraterrestrials. It's not very often that you get high-up officials talk about this subject. However, this year alone many government officials have been quite vocal about the UFO phenomena, and have stated in recent years that unidentified crafts have been detected in our skies, and that these objects need to be taken more seriously. The object the professor is talking about immediately displayed some strange signs, and this caused scientists and researchers from around the world to speculate what it was. The object was given the name of Oumuamua, but the professor has given some examples of why this object might not be a space rock, and that it could actually be a piece of alien technology. On the 19th of October 2017, we were visited by something that scientists couldn't initially explain. It was called Oumuamua, and astronomers first noticed this object travelling through our solar system. The object in question had come from another solar system, and people quickly started to speculate what the object was. It could be seen travelling around the sun and then shooting away again. However, after this it was not to return. Astronomers were able to record data on the object for a short period of time, with them saying that the mysterious object had been in our solar system for over a century. The reason Oumuamua wasn't spotted until 2017 is because it wasn't close enough to reflect enough light for astronomers to pick it up. Even when it did get close, it was moving very fast, and meant astronomers had very little time to observe it. Once the strange object flew around the sun, it was going further away, meaning it was getting fainter and fainter. The astronomers' last observation from Hubble were on the 2nd of January 2018. On the 3rd of May it was then seen outside of Jupiter's orbit. Interestingly though, some have said there's not just one Oumuamua. There's tools that can be used to help us view the wonders of the universe, and one of the most popular ones is that of Google Sky. Google decided they wanted somewhere where people could explore the far reaches of the universe. Using Google Sky you can see many famous celestial bodies, and over the years it's provided us with some breathtaking views. However, some who've used this software have said they found some interesting things. This Google Sky discovery had some saying that it looked very similar to Oumuamua, which gained popularity as being the first known interstellar object that was detected travelling through our solar system. This recent photograph has caused some to suggest whether this and Oumuamua are the same thing, suggesting that these mysterious interstellar objects are scattered throughout our solar system. This particular one was discovered close to the Orion constellation. The person who discovered the object said they were messing around with Google Sky, and zoomed in really quickly on Orion. They took a screenshot of the object as they thought it looked interesting and then shut it down. They then showed a few people and it was them who made the connection between the two objects. One of the first things you'll notice is that they're very similar in appearance, and interestingly this isn't the only one that's been discovered that has a similar appearance to Oumuamua. In recent years, the stigma around mysterious objects in our sky have come into question. As of today, it's not just everyday people that are coming forward with their stories. High-up officials, and those who spend large amounts of time in the sky such as pilots, have said that they've been seeing mysterious objects in the sky for years now, but were told not to come forward with their encounters, with some even saying that if they came forward their jobs would be on the line. A bit harsh when you consider that these crafts are allegedly things like birds, weather balloons and natural phenomena. It seems though that declassified documents show that although many of these sightings get explained, there's many that remain a mystery. At the moment there's a lot of talk around UFOs and Space Force. Insiders are saying that Donald Trump could reveal the truth about UFOs, and what the government knows about them. Interestingly, it was also announced that when the President signed the $2.3 trillion relief and government funding bill back in December, it also started the ball rolling on something else. As of that date, US intelligence agencies have just 180 days to release everything they know about UFOs, a subject that has been thrown into the limelight in recent months. The director of the National Intelligence and Secretary is said to have been put on the spot, and will now have to reveal everything they know about these unidentified crafts. President Trump's former intelligence director John Radcliffe said that there's many unexplainable UFO sightings, and that many of these have remained a mystery. The bill says that officials must release what they know about unidentified aerial phenomena, and Radcliffe said the public have no idea about how many unidentified UFO sightings there are, saying that the public is kept in the dark about this kind of stuff. He said the following: "We always look for a plausible explanation. Weather can cause a disturbance, a visual disturbance, and sometimes we wonder if our adversaries have technologies that are a little further down the road, but there are instances we don't have an explanation for." End quote. He goes on to talk about all of the military pilots that have detailed their strange encounters, with others saying that these are the people that fly some of the most advanced jets, yet they are saying that unidentified crafts buzz them, and are easily able to outmaneuver them. He continues with the following: "Frankly, they engage in actions that are difficult to explain, movements that are hard to replicate, that we don't have the technology for, travelling at speeds that exceed the sound barrier, without making a sonic boom." End quote. Interestingly, this has been seen time and time again. These crafts are able to travel at extreme speeds without making any noise. In fact, this is one of the most common things that people report when they encounter a UFO. the fact that they make no noise. It's sometimes why people see them by accident, because they can't hear that they're nearby. Some officials have gone back on their words though, and instead of mocking the topic, they've said that these crafts could pose a security threat. And although on paper that's true because they're able to do things that our modern jets can't, as far as we know we don't have any reason to believe this, with some saying that there's never been an incident in which a UFO has tried to harm a human, and the majority of the time accidents happen is because we chase them. One of the most well-known cases is that of Thomas Mantell. Captain Thomas Mantell was an experienced pilot, boasting a flight history of 2,167 hours. Many of these hours had been served during World War II, where he fought for the Allies in the Battle of Normandy, and was rewarded with the Distinguished Flying Cross and Air Medal for his actions. In 1947 he returned to Louisville, and joined the new Kentucky Air National Guard as a flight leader. However, less than a year into the new job, Mantell's career ended in tragedy when he passed away while in pursuit of an unknown flying object. The object was seen by several of Mantell's colleagues. Base Commander Colonel Guy Hicks reported it was very white, and around 1/4 the size of the full moon, while observers at the Clinton Army Airfield described it as having the appearance of a flaming red cone, and having a speed greater than 500 miles per hour. It was also seen by the Kentucky State Police, who contacted Captain Mantell, requesting him to investigate the object. Alongside 2 colleagues, Mantell set off in pursuit of the large white object. When his colleagues informed him they were going to retreat and level their altitude to try and see the object more clearly, Mantell ignored them, pursuing the object in a steep climb and at a high altitude. Unfortunately, while at this altitude, Mantell blacked out from a lack of oxygen, and he and his plane crashed at a farm south of Franklin on the Tennessee-Kentucky state line. Mantell passed away on impact. His death was tragic, but also a monumental occasion in UFO history. Before this point, there had only been a few cases reporting unidentified flying objects, and most of these cases had been dismissed by the public as fads, or as the delusional sightings of insane men and women. However, Mantell was a highly respected pilot, and the fact he laid down his own life to determine what the object was resulted in an increased public concern about UFO phenomena. The official response from the Air Force line where Mantell worked was that the object was actually Venus. However, this theory has been debunked by others, who argued that on the date of Mantell's death, Venus was only 33 degrees above the horizon, and thus would not have been visible to Mantell. An official investigation was later opened, named Project Blue Book, that concluded that the object Mantell had been chasing was a skyhook balloon, and part of a top-secret project that neither Mantell nor his colleagues would have known about. These skyhook balloons were being used by the Navy to measure radiation levels in the upper atmosphere. The skyhook balloon finding has largely been accepted. However, there are still some skeptics. For example, eyewitness Glenn Mays insists that Mantell was the victim of an attack, as he swears he saw Mantell's plane explode in mid-air, as if the result of a bullet, while others reported seeing unidentified flying objects within the area. Early fossil records show that sharks have been around for over 450 million years, meaning they've outlived the dinosaurs, and that makes them some of Earth's most ancient creatures. Sharks are underappreciated for their positive impacts on marine environments, and they are also massively misunderstood. There's over 400 shark species, and although we've all heard stories of them coming into contact with humans, very rarely do they attack. In fact, research has shown us the main reason they do this is because they misidentify us as their prey. From below, humans look like seals, and this is the reason why sharks like the great white approach us. Although humans and sharks often come into contact, there's a lot we don't know about them, and this has caused biologists to tag them. It helps us understand their swimming patterns, areas they visit the most and why they visit certain regions. Back in 2014, news broke that a 9-foot great white shark had been eaten by a massive giant shark. The story was featured on various websites, and various people speculated about what creature could have eaten a 9-foot great white shark. Although researchers have said the mystery is solved, and the likely candidate was a large great white shark, very rarely do great white sharks eat each other whole. They've been observed biting each other during mating and sometimes will attack if they're hungry, but never has one been observed eating another one whole. According to scientists, they said that the 9-foot great white had been eaten by an unknown shark. Researchers were carrying out tests and had tagged the healthy great white in order to keep an eye on its movements. 4 months later though, they were surprised when they detected that the tracker had washed up on a beach in Australia. The researchers quickly looked at the device's data to see if it could give them any indication as to what happened. The data showed them that there was a big temperature rise that went from 48 degrees to 78 degrees, and shortly after there was a sudden 2,000-foot drop. Most researchers agreed that something much larger had taken out the great white, and that this explained the rapid temperatures that were recorded, saying that it's likely the tracker was in the stomach of another creature. Filmmaker Dave Riggs said this when hearing of the story. When I was first told about the data that came back from the tag that was on the shark, I was absolutely blown away. The question that not only came to my mind but everyone's mind who was involved was what did that? It was obviously eaten. Who's gonna eat a shark that big? What could take out a 9-foot great white? End quote. At first it was theorized that an orca took out the great white. Back in 2017, great white shark sightings in and around South Africa dramatically decreased. The researchers said a total of 5 great whites were found washed up on the shore of Africa, each of them missing their livers. The evidence of large teeth marks clearly pointed to the local orcas. While port and starboard were the only present orcas in the bay, researchers have been given word of another orca in the area, resulting in continued drops in sightings. This behaviour might point towards a different ecotype of orca, one that is primarily a shark eater. Reasons for this behavioural adaptation could stem from water temperature changes, as well as overfishing. Strangely though, these orcas were only observed going for the shark's liver, and not eating any other part of the shark. So although orcas can take down great whites, it's thought that in the case of the 9-foot shark another creature was responsible. Although scientists have not been able to come to a conclusive answer and find evidence of the exact creature responsible for what happened, they have theorized that another much larger great white shark was responsible for what happened, saying that the shark in question could have been over 16 feet long and weighed in the region of 2 tons. Not much evidence could be shown to back up this theory, though scientists did say the area in which the tracker increased in temperature is known for having great white sharks. There's some who have suggested that a much larger shark could be to blame. There's not much evidence for this mystery shark, though people have reported it's over 30 foot long, and that it hunts along the South African coast. Although many scientists have called out the claims saying that they're made up, fishermen, along with others who spend large amounts of time on the ocean, have claimed that giant great white sharks do exist. Researchers have discovered that female great white sharks are larger in size than their males, with the males having a length of 3.4 to 4.7 meters and an average weight of 522 to 770 kilograms, while the larger females have a length ranging from 4.6 to 4.9 meters and weighing between 680 to 1,100 kilograms. According to J.E. Randall, the largest great white shark reliably measured was found in Edge Point, Western Australia. This was in 1987 and is said to have measured at least 6 meters. Around a decade later in 1988, the Canadian Shark Research Centre captured and verified a female great white shark, and this was in Albertan Prince Edward Island, and it measured 6.1 metres. Furthermore, a great white captured off the coast of Malta in 1987 is said to have measured an estimated 7.1 metres by John Abella. Photographic evidence of the shark dubbed Malta was thoroughly examined and was found to confirm this estimation, even suggesting it was larger than first thought. This suggests that great whites can grow to be at least 7 metres, a vast jump from the previously known size of 4.9 to 6 metres. Alternatively, the largest unconfirmed sighting of the great white has to be the case of the shark that was found in Canada, and this was during the 1930s. Records from the time indicate that this shark appeared to measure at least 11.3 metres and weighed well over 3,000 kilograms. Scientists though claim these measurements are flawed. So what do you make of the story of the 9-foot great white? What do you think it was eaten by? Be sure to leave your questions and answers in the comment section below, and help us to grow this community while working to solve these unexplained mysteries. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to subscribe for more videos.